Guys, I literally fear for my life right now. This might sound crazy, but a stupid, dumb, butt-face, fuck-face Republican named Chip Roy introduced the MAMDANI Act. And not only does it terrify me to my core, what might happen, it should terrify you too. To summarize the act, I literally got this off of his actual website. This bill, if passed, seeks to deport, denaturalize, deny U.S. citizenship or entry to any alien who is a member of a socialist party, a communist party, the Chinese Communist Party, or Islamic fundamentalist party, or advocates for socialism, communism, Marxism, or Islamic fundamentalism, and is without due process as well. One of the articles in the bill says, notwithstanding any other provision of law, any determination made under this subparagraph shall be final and not be subject to review by any court. So no more judicial review. We're just not doing that anymore. We can just deport anyone we want who vaguely might be associated with communism or Islam. And yeah, regardless of your ideology, this should scare you because it mirrors the events that occurred in 1930s Nazi Germany. Because this bill is fascism in practice. In 1930s Nazi Germany, when the Nazis came into power, they literally targeted socialists and communists first. They justified it by saying that communism was like a Jewish poisonous ideology that must be removed to preserve the master race. And this time, it's the same playbook, but we're replacing Judaism with Islam. Because now the new communist mayor is a Muslim. And I know that this bill hasn't passed yet. I know there's allegedly still some hope. But in Nazi Germany, the reformist left, the social democrats, the democratic socialists, whatever you want to call them, they sided with the fascists. They literally decided that they would rather have Adolf fucking Hitler in power, genocidal maniac, instead of continuing their mission of advocating for workers' rights and electing someone who actually would help with that. They sided with the fascists. They let Adolf fucking Hitler into office. The communists warned them about Hitler, and they still sided with the fascists over the communists. The Holocaust would have been entirely preventable. The worst genocide in history would have been entirely preventable if we just listened to the communists. But I guess 6 million people just had to die? For what? To preserve capitalism? Fuck out of my face. The Nazis, before they targeted Jewish people specifically, they targeted early LGBTQ plus activists like Magnus Hirschfeld. They burned entire libraries worth of books. They had mass censorship of the press at the time. And in the US, we're doing the modern version of this by defunding public schools and public news outlets for allegedly indoctrinating children with woke leftist anti-American propaganda. When in Germany, they were targeting the LGBTQ plus rights activists, the socialists and the communists for being anti-German, and same with the Jews. Apparently they were anti-German too. And now the Muslims are anti-American, the communists are anti-American, the socialists are anti-American. This is the exact fucking playbook. The clothes may have changed, it's still the same emperor. It's still the same playbook. We are living in modern Nazi Germany. It's official. And now they're literally turning on anyone who's a member of a socialist or a communist party, meaning I could be arrested and taken to an ICE concentration camp. Sorry, I meant detention center. I wasn't supposed to say that. Since I am a member of one of those parties, I'm not gonna disclose which one for safety reasons. This really sucks if it does pass. I'm not optimistic about the establishment Democrats saving my ass. And it would be really easy for me to be like, I'm just going to go underground. I'm going to withdraw my membership from the party I'm in, and I'm going to stop making YouTube videos about the things that I care about. I'm going to stop fighting for the marginalized, for the oppressed. It would be really easy for me to just like bury my head in the sand, right? But that's exactly what they want me to do. So even though I am scared that like my family, if push comes to shove, if threatened with violence, might turn me in. That could happen. I might get expelled from university if there's like a purge or something of Marxists from all higher education. That could happen. I could even be like exported to a foreign country and forced to do slave labor for literally just practicing free speech and advocating for what I believe in. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to roll over and die because I'm scared of some law. Because it's true that one of the purposes of this law is to go after the people who are critical of capitalism, critical of the far right. But there's another side effect of this law, which is that hopefully some of the people who are leftists will just get too scared and stop doing their leftist things. They'll stop organizing, they'll stop protesting, will stop burning down the warehouses, will essentially become complicit with corporate price gouging, late stage capitalism, imperialist genocide, and all that terrible shit. That's what they really want. And I'm not giving that to them. I'm not going to stop advocating for workers' rights. I'm not going to stop advocating for hardworking Americans and people around the world actually getting the value back from their labor instead of it going to fat, lazy, fuckface pig shareholders who don't do any of the hard work. And I'm not going to stop exposing the contradictions of capitalism. I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm too invested in helping the oppressed people of the world, helping to unite the working class against our enemy, against the system of capitalism. I'm not going to stop fighting for justice because of a stupid law that's trying to frame Marxism as Islamist propaganda. I'm not falling for this shit, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm not scared. I'll go down a warrior if I have to, but this is ridiculous. I don't even know what to say, but if you're like me, if you're scared, we're in this together. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that everything's going to turn out fine if we just lay low, because it won't. We're going to have to work for this. We're going to have to fight for our rights to be heard and to actually get the shit we want done. But trust me, if we all work together, a better world is possible. Even in the face of a draconian law like this, the human will has always prevailed over the parasite, the disease of modern industry and capitalism. We can do this. Even with all the adversity that we are going to have to face in the near future, a better world is possible. Let's fight for it together. If y'all want to see more of my work about exposing the psychology side of systemic oppression, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We got some pretty cool video ideas coming up that I'm sure you guys are going to like. But until then, peace.